When I first shifted, I almost tripped over my own new body, even getting tangled with a small twig. But when the enemy tried to hurt my father, I had to dig deep and find the strength within. I transformed from a clumsy little werewolf into a true warrior. At that moment, I realized that true strength comes from protecting those I love. 37. Maintenance to Jamae. Luna Amelia. I apologize for the intrusion, but I need to take care of the body. Wesley. Our pack warrior interrupts. I slowly look up from the lifeless body in front of me, tears streaming down my face. Take him to the morgue. I want to funeral. I weep out, gasping for breath at the scene. I feel my body being slowly pulled back from his corpse. My last view of him is his lifeless body being lulled away by pack warriors, and the feeling of loss haunting my entire being. For hours earlier, after the long and gruesome days of festivities, Christian and I got to sleep in. It was just past noon when we finally rolled out of bed. After showering and eating French toast with fresh strawberries for breakfast, it's finally run time. Let's meet Xavier CM on Millie, Rhea exclaims in my head. And yes, Shess decided on calling me Millie, which I'm okay with, seeing as Shess basically my other half. Are you ready, Angel? Christian says as we come to a stop deep into the woods. I think a little guidance could help, I reply shyly. I'm a little nervous to shift as this will be my real first time. Just remember, imagine your body morphing into your wolf, and draw energy from Rhea. She will help you as well, Christian guides, and I nod understanding his instructions. I step away from him and attempt to start concentrating. Remember what we look like. Rhea encourages as I close my eyes. To improve my concentration further, I begin imagining my paws, and to move up my legs to my torso, imagining my white coat with blacks all over. Slowly I feel my body vibrate almost, and with a quick snap I land on all our paws. Opening my eyes, I see the world in a new light. Precision from miles away and colors brighter than ever before. I look up to Christian, who's smiling down at my wolf. Beautiful, he mumbles as he strokes my hair and behind my ears. I nuzzle into his legs and a rumble comes from my stomach due to the tingles from his touch. Christian eventually steps back and leaps into the air, shifting into his large black wolf. He lands elegantly on the ground and shakes off before trudging in my direction. His wolf towers over mine. I can even fit between his front legs. Why am I so small? I ask him through mind link in a slightly pouty voice. It must be that you didn't have a normal shift at a regular age for werewolves. I love your size, Angel. Gives me more need to protect my mate. He explains as he nuzzles his head into my neck. Deciding to play with him a bit, I bolt off into the trees, dodging branches and logs left and right. I hear Christian's wolf close behind, but I'm glad he is letting me have the lead for a little while. I'm going to catch you, mate, Christian whispers into my mind link, and I squeal in return, taking a quick right. Due to my lack of coordination and new form, I end up falling straight on my side and tumbling right into a bush. I whine as I attempt to break free from the thickness of the bush. After a few seconds of attempting to claw myself out of the leaves and branches, I feel my entire body being lifted from the bush by the scruff in my neck. I'm set down very lightly on my paws just outside of the bush and turn to see Christian's wolf circling me, probably accessing my small body for injuries. You need to be careful. You have to adjust to your form before being so reckless, he orders, and I roll my eyes. I was just trying to have fun. Yeah, Mr. Alpha, I'll be careful, I reply, sticking my tongue out, and he growls playfully in reply. We set off once again, exploring the packlands. I even passed a couple of warriors who bowed in our presence. Christian took me for a whole tour of the forest and borders in our pack. There's a mountain area, large stream and tons of flower meadows to explore. The southern borders are right along the beach, so we have easy access to the ocean as well. Right now Christian and I are lying down on some rocks by the stream, just taking a small rest from our run. Amelia, we have to go. Now, Christian says worriedly. My head shoots up as I turn my gaze to him. Your dad is being held hostage at our eastern border by Victor and his rogues. I need to get you to safety and go over. This war is ending today, Christian clarifies, and I bounce on all fours, ready to run to the danger. This is my dad. We're talking about Christian and a werewolf now. I am coming with you. As Luna, I reply sternly. They'll stay with you the whole time. I hoping he'll warm up to the idea. As long as you're with me. Let's go. He agrees and we bolt off across the lands. My cardio isn't the best and keeping up with Christian is a tedious task. But knowing my dad is caught up into this mess drives me to push harder and faster. It takes us about 5 minutes to get to the scene, and I see about 100 wolves there already, with more of our pack members running beside us. Once getting a better view, I see Victor standing in the middle of one of our fields with my dad, a knife to his throat. I growl loudly at my father's vulnerability and all eyes turn to me. Is that? Oh my dear Amelia, how have you been? What a beautiful little pup. I have to say I did not see this coming. Victor snickers, turning in our direction. I see Christian shift in my side view and throw on a pair of shorts. He and I walk closer to Victor, with our pack members clearing the way for us. No more games, Victor. We don't need all these casualties. Let's end this, you and me, Christian announces. I walk closely to his side. Still in my wolf form. You're forgetting Alpha Christian. While killing you may be the dessert. I've come for the full meal. Victor replies, smirking. Attack. No survivors. Victor booms to his pack of rogues and everyone behind him shifts. Snarls and growls come from both sides as the wolves collide. Christian shifts back into his large wolf and steps on top of me, shielding me from the view. Christian, you need to help. They'll stay back here, don't worry. I mind link him as I feel his tenseness on top of me. I love you, he replies before he bolts off to battle, leaving me behind with some of our pack warriors in the last lines of attack. Yelps and growls are ferocious as I see wolves clawing onto each other and biting down on their necks. It's like the first time I discovered werewolves, but amplified tremendously. Blood is scattered across the field from the battle and I whine at the sight of everyone getting hurt. My dad is being held by some of the rogue wolves just outside the center of the field, with ropes around his wrists. I see Christian taking down wolf after wolf, making his way to Victor, who is now an auburn-colored wolf. Luna, Amelia, watch out. One of my pack members yells as I feel a large weight land directly onto my back. I fall harshly on the ground as I roll on the ground at the brown wolf. The wolf tries to pin me down and bite my neck, but before it has the chance I dodge its sharp canines. I nip at its neck and pause, attempting to get the heavy wolf off me. Scratches with blood drawn is on both of our coats as I try and fight the brown wolf off of me, and by its red eyes I can tell it's one of those rogues. I manage to claw the wolf's throat deeply and it yelps loudly, jumping off me. I get up from off the ground and see Christian's wolf finish off the job, snapping the brown wolf's neck with his bare canines. Amelia, get back. He mind links me once more before running off again, and I dart towards my dad. He needs to be safe too. As the only human, he doesn't stand a chance against the wolves. Even though I may be smaller, at least I could try and fight one off. Two wolves join my side as I run towards my dad and the rogues. I immediately recognize them as Evelyn and Addie. I need to get my dad safe. I mind link them. Where's Eleanor? Ed, we're coming with you. Eleanor is taking care of everyone who can't fight. Since you're on the battlefield, Daddy responds. Well, me'd back up. There's 7 rogues there. Wait until Jackson gets here, revel in orders, and I slowly come to a stop. Other than being handcuffed, my dad doesn't seem to be any physical harm, so it's understandable to wait until we have more wolf to help fight. They could kill us all if we're not careful. My eyes trail along the battlefield as I see Christian's wolf chasing down Victor. His wolf is still much taller than Victor's, however Victor seems to be a really good fighter. As I watch more intently, I notice Victor's path leading directly to where my dad is. I growl and pounce in Christian's and Victor's direction, deciding to try anything I can to save my dad. I hear the patters and pleas of Allie and Evelyn behind me as I sprint across the field. Victor's wolf leaps in mid-air and before it can reach my dad, Christian pins him down hard. Victor scrams under Christian's hold, attempting to break free. Meanwhile, I try and pin down the rogues detaining my dad. I leap on the first one, and Allie and Evelyn follow my lead. We wrestle for a few seconds before I manage to get a hold of its right leg and bite down hard, breaking its leg. The wolf lies yelping in pain as I turn to the second rogue. They seem to have left my dad tied to a tree during the battle. The rogue wolf makes the first move and bites down on my shoulder, causing me to yelp slightly as I try to regain my posture. I fall hard on my back as the wolf continues to nip at my skin. Suddenly I see the wolf pulled right from on top of me and flung to an opposite tree. I jump up attempting to see what happened, and see Jackson's wolf snarling at the injured rogue. With one bite he snaps its neck, leaving the rogue to lie motionless. I turn back towards my dad, and right before I can react, Victor's wolf lunges towards him, canines and claws baring. Christian's wolf is right behind him, lunging as well. I follow their lead in an attempt to protect my dad, but my efforts are too late. With one slash my dad's heart is punctured by Victor, and Christian, who follows right after, jumps on top of Victor's wolf. They wrestle for a matter of seconds until Christian pins Victor down and bites hard on its neck. I feel my heart drop as my gaze falls towards the lifelessness of my father. I sprint over to his body and shift as I come close. Noticing a scattered t-shirt, I throw it on before crouching down to my father's coughing body. Dad. Dad. I cry out as I hold his head up during his coughing fit. Millie, my baby, he says in a faint whisper, and I feel my heart clenching. Achia's already lost too much blood. Dad, I'm so sorry for everything. Jitaimi Papa, I cry out again, making sure he knows how much I love him. To, Jesus Telment fi raid eto I Amelia. Jivukyu to HQ to Eslolimi raid ans Malvi. Da tira is tujers. Il est maintenant attempts QG ray, joign ta emre. Gitado ray tujers ma flurry. I'm so proud of you, Amelia. I want you to know that you are the light in my life. Always be watching over you, as it's time that I meet up with your mother. I'll love you forever, my flower, my dad says before his breathing falters and his heart stops beating. Tears stream like waterfalls down my cheeks as I clutch my dad's chest, sobbing. My parents are gone. My dad. He is gone. I gently close his eyelids and lay there sprawled, hugging my dad's body, praying he returns to me, praying this is all a nightmare. Seconds turn into minutes as I hear the commotion come to an end. I feel hands touching my back, motioning for me to get up. I yell, holding on to my dad and refusing to let go. Seconds turn into minutes as I lay there in denial. Ria has gone silent in my mind, and heartbreak consumes my entire being. Luna, Amelia. I apologize for the intrusion, but I need to take care of the body, Wesley. Our pack warrior interrupts. I slowly look up from the lifeless body in front of me, tears streaming down my face. TKH, him to the morgue. I want to F. Funeral I manage we pout, gasping for breath at the scene. I feel my body being slowly pulled back from his corpse, recognizing the familiar tingles. I can tell it's Christian holding me by my waist and hugging me to his bare chest. My last view of my dad is his motionless body being carried away by pack warriors. I sob loudly into his chest, attempting to cope with this new reality. A reality without my dad. His hands gently stroke my hair and my lower back as he remains silent, listening to my sobs. Eventually he lifts me bridal style and I feel him walk to who knows where. My sobs have stopped and a numbness has consumed me. My dad was the only person who got me through my mom's death, who got me through my addictions and led me to a better life. I was always so close with him. He was like one of my best friends. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben, heartfelt thanks for your unfading patience, enthusiasm. I need to do some damage control. My mom is coming to stay with you. Drived Emperor will be by to treat your wounds as well. Let's get you in a quick bath before, Christian says as I feel myself being lowered into warm water. Looking around I see we're back in our room and Christian has started a bath for me. I remain in my numb and motionless state as he washes the blood off my body and washes my matted hair. After rinsing my body off, he helps me out of the tub and wraps a towel around my shivering frame. We walk back into the closet as I put on some undergarments, a pair of shorts and one of his hoodies. See, you need to get in bed. They'll be back, Angel. I'm so sorry for leaving you like this is the last thing he says before laying me down on our bed and kissing my forehead. I stare into oblivion, my dad consuming my every thought. I remember the times when we were little. He used to come home every day and teach me tons of new activities from different places he visited in his career. We would run around the house screaming out songs in all different languages and fooling around. He was there for me when I first started soccer. I was the best, so he volunteered to train me until I was top of the team. When Mom was away with fashion events, he would bring me out for spa days to cheer me up. Whether I needed a smile, laugh, or shoulder to cry on, he was always there for me. My heart shatters knowing he is no longer with me, knowing I'm living in a world with neither of my parents. Eventually all this emotion manages to tire me out and I fall into a deep slumber, resting after today's events. 38. Ufotgada ans Auraya. Today is the funeral for all of the fallen during the war against Victor. Fortunately, our casualties were much less than Victor's. With a total of 10 werewolves and 1 human, my dad. It's been a total of 2 days since everything happened. Terry left the pack. After the death of her mate and my dad, she decided this just wasn't home for her anymore. Aunt Talia, Uncle Joey and Jackson took the news pretty hard as well. Uncle Joey was hit the worst. Even his only brother died, so young really struck a chord in him. As for me, well, I've been surviving, I guess. Christian has been my rock, and everyone else my anchors in dealing with his death. I haven't cried since that first night, vowing to myself to not fall into an abyss of hurt. Dad would want better for me. He would want me to keep on fighting. I refused to fall into how I used to be before moving to California. And with Christian by my side, I think I'm strong enough. Are you ready, Amelia? Christian says as he comes into our closet, fixing his black tie on his collar. As I can be, I reply with an attempted smile. I threw on a simple black dress and black heels for the occasion, with my blonde hair straightened down my back. Christian holds my hand as we walk out of our room. My breaths become slightly shaky as we near the elevator. Stay strong, Amelia. He'll always be with us. Rhea adds, she came back to me yesterday and thankfully has been nothing but supportive during our loss. There's going to be a barbecue after the funerals, to support the families who have lost someone and to unite even stronger together. If you don't want to stay, I can bring you back upstairs, Christian says, breaking the silence in the elevator. I'll go. This is what we all need. And as Luna, I should help comfort the families, deciding I need to lean on people to help grieve as well. And a distraction could help. As soon as the elevator door opens, we make our way to the backyard, where the funerals are being held. We decided on mating my father, but other pack members wanted to have an open casket. The funerals are being held one by one, so today is going to be a very sad and upsetting day. And now for David Evans, mated to Margot Evans and father of Luna, Amelia Evans. David was a pro fighter for years, known globally for his passion and skill in the sport. As of now, he shall be resting in the heavens with his mate. May they be in peace. Joey Evans would like to speak on his behalf. Joey, Christian announces on the podium of the funeral. My dad's box is placed in front, with photos of us surrounded by his trophies and gloves. Joey nods to Christian as he holds his cue cards up to speak on his behalf. Hello everyone, and thank you for attending my brother's service today. David was my older brother, and as his reputation precedes him, an amazing fighter as well. Now David was far from the most disciplined child, and schoolry just wasn't his thing. But if there is one thing David was passionate about, is his protectiveness and love for his family. It's no secret growing up I was the nerdier and awkward one of the two of us. Not that David cared. Anyone who even tried to insult me, David beat up without a second thought. He was also quite the ladies' man compared to me. He even used to give out my number instead of his own to help me out. That all changed when blue-eyed Margot came into town. Within seconds she captured my brother's heart and brought him back from his reckless ways. Together they were unstoppable. The perfect balance. If there was one thing David believed in, was that if you put in hard work and dedication, you can accomplish anything you put your mind through. While David's name was becoming heard around the fighting community, Margot was excelling in fashion design. I remember how happy David was each time he used to call me, telling me about his wife's successes before his own accomplishments. They were team unstoppable. I never thought David could be happier until I got a FaceTime call about some unexpected news. A niece was coming my way, and both of her parents were absolutely thrilled. Amelia, you are the newfound joy in your parents' lives. Your dad used to call me about the silliest things. Like how you said dad before mum. How in first grade your teacher said you were smartest of your class and should be moved up a grade. Your parents were proud of it all. Losing his mate was one of the hardest things H.E.S. had to face, however he managed to surpass it with you, Amelia. He loved you with all of his heart and more. And I know for a fact he couldn't be prouder of the person you have become. Brother, I'll miss you forever. Until we meet again. I've got her, Uncle Joey recites, and tears fall freely from my eyes. He defends off the stage and sits back down beside me and smiles slightly. I can see the puffiness in his eyes as well. My dad was both of our role models. Christian gets back up from beside me and goes back to the podium. As Alpha, he is the one officiating the ceremonies. Next, we have his daughter Eleonora. Amelia to take the podium, he announces as he holds a hand out to me. I inhale a shaky breath before walking up to the stage. Christian guides me to the front and offers a supportive smile before descending back to his seat. Thank you all for being here. My dad would have been so glad to see H.E.S. touched so many people. H.E.S. been so happy these past few weeks training you all and would always gush about the potential here. I could never bring myself to say goodbye to him, so instead I will say see you soon. I don't have words to express his loss, so I'll start by reciting a passage from the poem I'd read at my mom's funeral. Sus the pot mirabo kula lose net nos amas fort, il pomenes o uvini. Najwav inet toujours ap a est lopin. This poem is about love after loss, by Guillaume Apollinaire. Now is the time we lean on each other more than ever. And, as Dad always said, nothing is stronger than family. Jitami rai toujours papa. On se revo it dans you any oi vai. I'll love you always, Dad. We'll meet again another life, I say. I didn't want to share all my memories with Dad just yet, as it's too hard to even think about never making more. Christian makes his way back on the podium and wraps his arm around my waist. I lean onto him for strength. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Let us all remember their names. Victoria, tu es agent extraordinaire, Mwelen Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. George, Henry, Sean, Paul, tu es agent extraordinaire, Mwelen Nilban. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Ian, Toby, Kio, and David. May we say their names with love and pride. And may they rest in peace. Christian finishes before ending the ceremony. A few of my dad's friends come to see me to pay their respects, and visit where his ashes are while we stick around a little after his ceremony. After speaking with some more pack members and old friends, both Christian and I make our way to where the barbecue is. Sweetheart, come here, Stephanie says as she approaches us with Tobias. Stephanie engulfs me into a hug and I return it, clinging onto her motherly hold. Stephanie has really helped me get my feelings out and has become my person to talk to besides Christian. You're so strong, she whispers in my ear before releasing from the hug. Christian immediately puts his warm around my waist afterwards. Just his presence alone has managed to calm me down these past few days. All four of us walk closer to where the barbecue is taking place. Fortunately, everyone is still conversing and eating rather well considering the drowsiness of today. After taking our burgers from some of the pack chefs, we all make our way to one of the picnic tables, where the rest of the gang is sitting. At least some of the pups are still having fun. Evelyn says, attempting to brighten the mood. As I look over, I see some of the pack kids playing soccer on the field right beside all the picnic benches. Shrieks and giggles erupt from the field and I can't help but smile at the simple-minded children. They don't let anyone bring them down, and I admire them for it. I look around our table and notice everyone else staring at the kids with a small smile as well. Deciding to brighten up the mood, I get up from the table and walk over to the field, getting very questionable glances from my friends. Hey guys, do you have room for one more? I ask the children as they run after the ball, They all stop and turn to face me. They all seem to have pretty shocked expressions that are soon covered with excitement. "Yeah, Luna, you can be on my team," a young boy with blonde hair says, smiling. "Hey, no fair. I want Luna on our team," a young girl counters with a pouty face. "All right, Frankie. You get Luna, Amelia. Penelope'll come on your team," Christian says. He suddenly appears behind me. After a few minutes of organization, a lot more pack members joined in, and there's over 50 people playing on the soccer field. Even those who aren't playing got spots to stand and watch nearby. Apart from a few faulty passes and lack of positions, everyone still manages to have a super fun time. Goals are scored equally on both sides and smiles are spread across every owner's faces. "Luna, Amelia, you cover Alpha." Christian. "Lola," one of the young girls shouts to me across the field. I look up to see my mate running my way, dribbling the ball. I get into a defensive stance as he nears me. "Get ready to lose, mate," he snickers the closer he gets. As soon as he reaches in front of me, he attempts a fake to pass me, but I intercept the ball as it falters between his feet. With a groan, he loses the ball, leaving me with the ball to counter-attack. As I run up the field, I chip the ball over to Bentley, who's running wide on the sidelines. Landing perfectly in front of him, he controls it and then crosses it right back to the middle, where Lucas, a young boy, gets the ball and manages to score. My team yells out as we all come together to high-five. Lucas gets thrown up in the air as we march across the field, fooling around and rubbing in our victory. Eventually, both teams line up and shake hands before we get off the field. "All right, everybody hit the showers," Christian announces as we leave the field. Looking down, I notice my dress is covered in grass stains and a hint of mud. My hair has turned back to its normal curly state and in a huge need for a shower too. Everyone nods before going back to their homes to clean up. Pack training starts back up again tomorrow morning, so I know it will be an early night for everyone tonight. What do you guys say after we all shower? A movie night at our place, I suggest to Evelyn, Justin, Ellie, Jackson, Bentley, Eleanor, and Christian. "Sure. Well, order pizza too," Evelyn exclaims. "Enthusiasm. Love it. Just like old times," Addie adds, equally as excited. Deciding to meet up in about an hour, we all part ways to clean off the mud and get ready for a fun night in. Spoiler alert, we watched Frozen. Epilogue 5 months later, Amelia POV. "Luna, Amelia, will you color with me, please?" Little Aaron asks as he tugs on the end of my dress. Currently in visiting the Pack Elementary School, I take weekly visits to see all the growing children and offer support to the teachers. When Stephanie said I would one day find my way of being Luna, she was completely right. I make sure to show my presence everywhere to offer my support to all of my pack members, from planting crops on our farms, to visiting our orphanage, and even holding meetings for pack members in my office who just want to talk. I finally feel like I've found my purpose. I even managed to book a lecture time to teach pack members about other valuable information that could be useful when in the human world. As our pack is expanding, so has our land. We're currently at 673 members and growing daily. The pack has never been stronger with our increase in numbers and strength. Christian has been extremely busy as well. With the help of Justin and Bentley, they train the pack every day on the training field. He also holds weekly meetings with every department in the pack to ensure everything runs smoothly. With such an increase in members, to my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Milban, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Jackson and I also have our hands full finding homes and the perfect job for each new member. Also, Jackson seems to be taking the lead in that department. The girls have also been helping a lot in the pack. Allie is training to become a pack doctor. She spends all her daytime studying with Drive. Denver but absolutely loves it. Eleanor and Devlin spend most of their time with me, helping provide guidance to all our pack members. Although our schedules have become insanely busy, we decided to always do Friday night dinners to spend time all together. Aside from Sunday morning pack brunch, We have begun construction projects all around Packlands for bigger facilities and new homes for our members. I even got my meditation garden. Eleanor and I hold yoga classes Tuesdays and Thursdays. I even managed to convince Christian to participate a few times. I miss both my parents every day, but I know they're always watching over me. The main pack gym is now named in memorial to him. It's safe to say I shed some tears at the surprise. It took the pack about a month to get past the war and devastation, but now we're flourishing and I couldn't be prouder. Sure, Aaron. Pass me the blue. I reply smiling as he tugs me to his desk. All the children so I hand us as I hand out some crayons and coloring sheets. Luna, Amelia. What does it feel to meet your mate? Lola. A young girl asks me as I color in my flower on a sheet of paper. Every time I come to the elementary school, the kids always have tons of questions for me, which I am happy to answer. They seem awestruck whenever I walk through the doors. Well, Lola, imagine when you go swimming underwater. You know when you guys play those holding your breath swimming games. Meeting your mate feels like when you finally come up from underwater and take that first breath. When I met Alpha Christian, he was my breath of fresh air release after all the hard work. They say you find your mate whenever you need them most. And Christian cowled and hath come at a better time. Achidi helped me cope with my demons and became my rock. I wish you all a wonderful lifetime with your mates. There will be no better feeling than having them in your arms. I reply smiling. All of the kids have adoration written in their faces and smile widely. I hope my mate is just like you. Lulia Amelia and says as he wraps an arm around me. Little Aaron will definitely be a ladies' man when he's older. Hopefully he'll have a mate to ground him a little more. Amelia, it's time to get going. Christian enters the room and we all turn our heads towards my handsome mate. I feel little Aaron rip his arm off from around me and see him smiling sheepishly. Hello, Alpha Christian, all the kids say in unison. I get up, dusting off my dress lightly. Hey guys, did you have a good time with Luna, Amelia, he asks, looking specifically at young Aaron. All the kids nod and I can't help but return a smile to the little angels. Goodbye kids. I'll see you next week. I wave off to the children and meet with Christian at the doorway to walk out of the room. He wraps his arm around me gently and we both give one last glance to the waving children and exit into the hallway. I missed you, Christian says as he pulls me into a kiss. I return it and run my hands through his hair lightly. A low growl vibrates into his chest and I chuckle into the kiss. Christian has been gone these past days for a meeting at a neighboring pack. They need the extra protection. I love you, I reply as we break away from the kiss before going too far. We are in public at an elementary school. Our foreheads touch and I smile, looking into his shining blue orbs. Alpha Christian, Luna Amelia. Thank you for visiting today, Miss Haley, one of the teachers says, interrupting our moment. I break away from Christian awkwardly and attempt to recompose myself. He only chuckles at the situation. Anytime, Miss Haley. We better get going. Great work here. Christian replies before he holds my hand and guides me outside the elementary school. We walk hand in hand back to the pack house, waving at all the pack members we pass. Dinner is into hours by the way, Christian says, and I beam with excitement. Today is Friday, so friend group dinner. Ever since we all got settled into our jobs at the pack, it's not as easy to find time together. Christian chuckles as I dance around him, swaying his arms. Where are we going? I ask him in return. On the beach. Evelyn got to choose the venue tonight. Christian is rolling his eyes. Whenever Evelyn chooses, everyone has to dress super fancy and the place is usually very extra. Not that I mind, but the guys tend to prefer something much simpler. The last venue Evelyn chose was super fun, so no rolling your eyes, mister. Wolfie, I reply slightly stern. Christian huffs in response. He brought us to a restaurant full of cats and Jackson almost passed out because of his allergies to cat hair. The rest of us were sniffling the rest of the week from their stench. Christian replies with a sense of grumpiness. Okay, maybe the last time was the greatest, but I'm sure she'll come through tonight. Attempting to stay positive. Our walk comes to an end as we begin going upstairs through the elevator. Amelia, Eleanor, we're going to be late. Bentley huffs loudly as him and Christian stand in the doorway of the bathroom while Eleanor and I finish fixing up our hair. Then you can trust Beauty Eleanor shoes as she straightens her last strand of crimson red hair. I giggle at their interaction while I finish curling my long blonde hair. I'm not rushing it. We've been waiting an extra 20 minutes. CM on Christian. Help me, he Bentley nudges my mate, who seems way too entranced in my outfit to even notice his friend's banter. 5 more minutes, girls, Christian says half-heartedly. Both Eleanor and I giggle at his response. I decided on a high, low white sundress, with a V-neck cotton spaghetti straps paired with white high-heel sandals. I decide to apply minimal makeup, since we're going to swim in the ocean after our dinner on the beach. But curling my hair seemed appropriate for the occasion. Eleanor is wearing a black airy blouse paired with a checkered skirt and black heels. Both guys are wearing polo shirts and khaki shorts with dress shoes. Done, Eleanor says as she finally puts down the hair straightener, admiring her hair in the mirror. I also manage to finish at the same time and we both compliment each other's appearances. You look beautiful, Bentley says as he finally gets over his mini pout. Eleanor says a small thank you before they both make their way out of the bathroom. Christian and I follow close behind as we make our way out of the packed house into our cars. I don't know how you manage to be more beautiful every single day, Christian mind, links me and I blush at his compliment. Our trip down the elevators is short-lived and we finally meet up with everyone else at our cars. Hey guys. Evelyn waves to us as we descend the steps of the pack house. Jackson, Justin and Eleanor are standing in front of a white limo with champagne glasses already in hand. Feels like forever since I've seen you guys. Addie says and pulls both Eleanor and I into a hug. We're already 10 minutes late for the reservation. Let's move out, people. Evelyn ushers all into the limo and we take off towards the restaurant. The ride to the restaurant goes pretty quickly. The guys spend time to discuss pack security, meanwhile the girls gush about the movie Divergent. Theo James is decidedly the hottest guy ever. Just don't tell Christian I ever said that. As soon as we arrived we brought to our table. Literally on the beach. I don't know how Evelyn found a way to get a private group dinner on the beach, but the setup was beautiful. Full of candles and flowers. Dinner went by smoothly as we made small talk and enjoyed each other's company. I'm forever thankful to have these friends by my side. I don't know what I did without them. After dinner we all went to the bathrooms to change into our swimsuits and now it's time to go in the ocean. The sunset is absolutely beautiful. And apparently the water is actually quite warm. CM on an Angel Christian scoops me up, taking me out of my trance with the sunset and runs towards the ocean. I don't even have the time to resist before I plunge into the salty water. He remains holding my waist gently as I resurface. I decide to splash him right back and attempt to break free from his hold. Last one in has to sleep outside for a week, Jackson yells as the rest of the group runs into the water. Meanwhile, Christian rubs his eyes trying to get the saltness out of his view. We both chuckle as our friends sprint frantically in the water, splashing around themselves left and right. Right before Justin was about to reach the ocean, Evelyn tripped him as she flew by him, with a huff, just unfazed first in the sand, and lost the race. Evelyn, just unraises his voice in a scolding manner. Evelyn quick swims behind me, and clings to my body in the ocean, using me as a shield between her and her pissed-off mate. You hurt me. You hurt the Luna. Evelyn squeals as Justin approaches us. Don't drag my mate into your mess, Christian grumbles. I attempt to break free from Evelyn's prying hold. However, it seems quite impossible with her iron grip on my shoulders. I'll get you back later. To my agent extraordinaire, Marianne Nelbe. Heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Justin says before he turns around to dive back into the water, shaking the rest of the sand off his body. Evelyn released her hold on me and I swim away from her direction. The last thing I want is to get in between a splashing fight between her and Justin. Let's play Frisbee, Ali suggests, and we all nod in approval. After spacing it out, We managed to do tons of passes in the ocean. The guys even tried showing off jumping in midair to catch it. Alright guys, I'm going to take a little break, I decide after throwing the frisbee for a good 30 minutes. My wrinkling fingers are really starting to bother me. They all nod as I begin my trek to the shore, with Christian, who decided to take a break as well. The others stayed in the ocean, beginning a game of volleyball while Christian and I set up our seats on the sand. I brought some blankets, Christian says as he hands me a small bag before setting down a towel for us to sit on. I take my seat on the towel and I rummage through the bag for our blankets. "Yeah, Chris," I turn towards Christian when my heart stops. I look to see Christian holding a small box with a very beautiful ring on one knee. I drop the bag with the blankets on my lap as I stare at my mate in awe. "Amelia Evans, this is my promise to you. I promise to love you with my entire being. I promise to be by your side for the rest of our lives, through the good and bad days. I promise to put you, and us first, above everything else. I promise to treat you like the angel you are, and give you the love you deserve. I promise to be your rock and confidant. I promise to be your best friend, ensuring that beautiful smile stays permanently on your face. I promise to give you a family, our family that I will love eternally. Most importantly, I promise to marry you. You are the love of my life, Amelia. I could never imagine living without you. I never knew I could love someone as much as I love you. Hell, I didn't even know what love was before I met you. I promise you a life with me by your side, Amelia. If you'll take me," Christian declares, with a few straight tears running down his face. I melt as I hear his words, tears falling freely down my face as well. After a few seconds of being completely speechless, I finally formulate my response. "To my agent extraordinaire, Marilyn Nilben, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing and patient enthusiasm. You saved me. Coming here. I was fresh out of the hospital and still recovering from the death of my mother. A dark cloud lingered over me as time went by, but you came in and turned it into sunny skies. You brought light in my dark days, and glued my heart all back together. I love you, Christian, more than you could ever imagine. To spend a lifetime with you, my soulmate, would be a dream. I can't wait to see what the future has for us, but I know it will be nothing less than perfect," I reply, slightly shaky due to the turmoil of butterflies brewing in my abdomen. Christian stands up, radiant smiles coming off both of our faces, and scoops me up from the blanket. We fall into a fairy tale-like kiss, soft and compassionate as our lips dance together. Christian spins me in the air, as we hold on to each other like it's our last time. "I love you," Christian says as he gently sets me down. He gently pulls the ring out of the box, and slides it onto my ring finder. "It's perfect. I love you," I whisper as I admire the jewels. My heart swells as tingles erupt in my body, reappearing at Christian's gesture. Will I back down on the blanket and spend the rest of the evening admiring the view in each other's arms? Being in Christian's arms reassures me that everything will end up all right. Yeah, I definitely faced a lot of demons in my lifetime, and my journey is far from over, but with Christian and my amazing group of friends, I know that we'll be ready to face anything that may come our way. Pack life is family life, and I know I have a huge army of family anywhere I go. Don't forget to kick ass, Wolf too. Rhea adds in my mind, and I chuckle. Yeah, I guess Christian and I have had quite the long journey, and the gods have definitely tested our fate a couple of times. Through each bump in the road, we've changed and came out even stronger. But I'll always remember, our story all started when I became his human mate. Bonus Chapter 1, Wedding Dress Shopping. If I walk into this car and there are no celery sticks with peanut butter, I'm going right back inside, Evelyn declares as I walk with her, Eleanor, Allie and Stephanie. It's been officially 3 years since I've met Christian and my new family. Evelyn, obviously, is pregnant. She's 6 months along and clearly is experiencing some pretty random cravings. They've ranged from Brussels sprouts to coconut milk, chicken nuggets and finally peanut butter celery sticks. Today, however, is the day I get to choose a wedding dress. Things with the pack have returned to a normal pace, And we've decided the best time is now. Don't worry. I've got a whole cooler of them in the back seat. Stephanie replies reassuringly. We all get inside the car and buckle up before leaving pack grounds. Christian and Bentley are visiting another pack to form an alliance treaty. And Jackson and Justin are busy doing pack work. So today was the perfect day. So Leah, what kind of dress are you looking to get? Eleanor asks. I'm not sure. But my mum worked with this boutique before, so I definitely want to choose a dress from there. I reply. Secretly, I hope to get a dress by one of my mum's designs, but I'm sure they were all sold by now. Each piece she made was original, so it's nearly impossible to find her clothing designs. You'll look beautiful in whichever dress you choose, Stephanie adds. The other girls nodded in agreement, and soon enough, we pull up in front of the shop. Welcome to V's Bridal. Who's our bride today? The store clerk greets us as we walk in. The girls owe it to me, and I can't contain my excited smile. I'd always wished my parents could be there with me to choose my wedding dress, but I cowed and asked for a better group of people to be with today. Hi, I'm Amelia Evans. I reply and shake the woman's hand. Are you Margot S. daughter? The woman says with wide eyes. Yes, do you have any of her designs left? I ask with a glimmer of hope. I think I might have a few left. I'm Veronica. By the way, the woman introduces. I'm Evelyn. Ali Eleanor and Stephanie. A pleasure to meet you. The rest of the girls greet before we begin our search. Veronica guides us through the entrance of the store. For the first hour, we all went our separate ways rummaging through the countless rows of dresses. Not only did we need my wedding dress, but I also planned to pick out the bridesmaids' dresses today. Christian and I talked about some wedding plans before, but he left the theme more my choice. Werewolves weren't very accustomed to weddings, but I really wanted one. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nobel, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. I think it's time you try some on Leah, Stephanie says, ushering me to the changing rooms. She, along with Veronica, will definitely be helping me put on the dresses. I gently smooth down the first dress. It's stunning, and I love the neckline. I gently put on the solid white heels and head to the main room of the store. Oh my goddess, Evelyn says, practically dropping her celery stick from her arm. You look amazing. Ali adds. I really love it, but I'm not sure if the bottom's really my style. I conclude. The girls nod in agreement, and I return to the dressing room to try on dress number 2. I gasp, looking at myself in the mirror in the second dress. I love the long sleeve design, and the lace was stunning. Once again, I walked to the main room. I think this one is my new favorite. Eleanor says. The long sleeves are super flattering, Stephanie adds. What do you think? Leah Ali asks. I think it's my new favorite as well, but I do want to see the other dresses. I finalize. After posing for a picture for Evelyn, I walk back into the dressing room. I've already fallen in love with the lace design and style of this dress. I eagerly exit the dressing room. Holy Eleanor S. jaw drops this dress. Ali seems to be at a loss for words. Girl, that body. Evel and Nats. I squeal excitedly, as do the other girls. Just as I'm about to declare this dress as my favorite, Veronica emerges with another dress in hand. I made a quick call to your mother's headquarters, and I think you'll want to try on this dress. Margot named it Amelia. Veronica explains. My mother was cautious with her pieces and wouldn't name just any dress after me. My heart swells in realization. She had designed a wedding dress for me. I nod eagerly as I take hold of the dress and return to my dressing room. Tears spill from my eyes as I look in the mirror. I was 5 years old. I was always envious of the models my mother would design dresses for. One day, she sat me down and had me tell her my criteria for a dress she would design for me. Growing up, I always thought she didn't take it seriously. But this dress has everything and more. The floral lace is my mother's signature design, and the sheer material was one of my ideas. All these years ago, My mother had indeed created my dream gown. I still missed her dearly, but knowing I will have a piece of her on my wedding day just made it so much more special. After wiping away my tears, I emerged from the dressing room once more. Gasps could be heard from all around us, not just from my girls. Amelia, this is the one. Stephanie gushes. You look like a princess. Elinor adds. My mom made this one. I say shakily. My emotions have been going crazy lately, and I could barely keep my tears in. You have to get this dress, Urax. For B7 and Ali insist. Evelyn pulls out her phone to take more pictures, but I quickly decline. No pictures of this dress until the wedding. It's too special. I explain. The girls all nod in agreement as I stand there admiring the beautiful design. My wedding was still weeks away, yet I never wanted to take off this dress. After a few minutes of staring, I decided to return to the dressing room and take off my dress. I carefully returned it into the packaging before returning out to the main room. Next up were the bridesmaids' dresses. I can't get over your dress, Leah. You think your mom has any more designs? Ali asks. I'm sure she does. Everything she makes is original, so we might have to go out to the company headquarters for more options. I explain, nodding. It decided on a beach wedding since that was where Christian gave me my promise ring all those years ago. So the bridesmaids' dresses would be a mix of blues to match the theme. It told the girls they could choose any style, but to try to stick to the light blue colors. I couldn't choose a maid of honor, as they were all my best friends. However, Evelyn seems to have appointed herself as the lead bridesmaid since she was the bride's best friend and the groom's twin sister. We all just nodded along to her claims, and now she's one of the main organizers of the wedding festivities. Choosing the bridesmaid dresses took longer than choosing my wedding dress, but finally, the girls and I decided on our picks. I was given a veto right on dress designs, but I honestly just wanted the girls to choose whichever dress they felt most comfortable in. Stephanie chose dress F, Eleanor chose dress C, Evelyn chose dress E, and Ali chose dress G. I found they looked stunning in the dresses they chose, and this whole outing made me so much more excited about my big day. After putting in a deposit and saying a huge thank you to Veronica, we finally left the bridal store. 5 hours later, Evelyn was passed out in seconds as we took the car back to Packlands. Christian and Bentley would be coming home early tomorrow morning, so Eleanor and I would have a pajama party in our living room. The car ride was short and sweet, and as we drove up the long driveway, Jackson and Justin could be seen in the distance waiting for us. As the car came to a halt, both men opened the doors for us. So did you guys find anything? Justin asks as he picks up a sleeping Evelyn from the back seat. Yet we've got all our dresses, I reply with a large smile. I'll see you soon. Girls, have a nice night. Stephanie waves as she takes the car to her house. We all wave goodbye before going inside the pack house. Can we see some pictures? I want to see my cousin's wedding dress. Jackson questions eagerly. We didn't take any pictures of our chosen dresses. It'll be a surprise. Ali explains. He immediately slumps down, pouting from his exclusion. You'll see it in a few weeks. Jackson, don't sulk too much. I bug him while laughing slightly. We all walk into the large elevator and begin our ascent to each of our floors. Ali, Jackson, Evelyn and Justin all wave goodbye as they get off on the floor below us. As soon as the door opens on mine and Eleanor's floor, we rushed to the couch and collapsed on the comfortable textiles. I'm so tired. Thank God werewolves don't do weddings. I don't think I could do this 4 times. Eleanor groans. It was still fun, but I'm pretty exhausted too. I replied groggy, just as we were about to pass out. My stomach decided otherwise as I ran to the bathroom, spilling out the contents of my breakfast. I groaned, clutching the toilet bowl. You're okay, Leah? Eleanor rushes after me. She gently grabs hold of my hair as I continue vomiting. I don't know how to tell him. Eleanor, I know things are calming down with the pack, but HE is super busy. What if he is not ready to be a dad, I say to Eleanor as I flash the toilet and lean against the wall. Are you kidding? He'll be ecstatic. He'll even help you plan the reveal. Eleanor reassures. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilbe, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Well, brainstorm a little. Let me brush my teeth first. I reply, getting up from the floor. I'll throw in a pizza. Eleanor declares, leaving the bathroom. I've known about the pregnancy for a little over a week now. Eleanor helped me take the pregnancy test as soon as she noticed some of my symptoms. We were both silent for a moment until a true smile grew on my face. I'd always wanted to be a mom, and while being 21 was a little young, I couldn't be more excited. We squealed like teenagers and have been secretly pinning nursery ideas on Pinterest ever since. She's the only one who knows so far, because I felt Christian needed to know before the rest of the pack did. I've been throwing up pretty often, and luckily, my cravings have been normal. After brushing my teeth, I joined Eleanor in the kitchen as she took out the frozen pizza. Do you have any ideas to how you want to announce it? Eleanor asks. No clue. Honestly, we could make it into a scavenger hunt. The prize he can find is the pregnancy test. You still have it. Right. Eleanor suggests. Yeah, I kept it in my office downstairs. I reply. A scavenger hunt sounded like a cool idea. Plus, I could involve some P-ranking in the reveal. Let's do the scavenger hunt. I reply excitedly. And so the planning begins. To my agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Nilben, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. Ivy just walked in. I want to spend some time with my mate, not play games. Can't this wait? Christian grumbles. It's currently 9 in the morning, and the boys walked in only minutes ago. Eleanor and I spent the entire night setting up the scavenger hunt, and I couldn't keep in my newfound excitement. I could tell Christian had little sleep last night as well, but this surprise couldn't wait. See him on Christian. Don't pout, I giggle as I kiss him on the jaw, that being the only place I could actually reach. I had blindfolded him as soon as he hugged me when he returned and told him that if he takes it off, he would be sleeping outside. I slowly guided Christian through the packed house and into the elevator. Some of our members were laughing and giggling seeing their alpha wobbling through the house. Eleanor and Bentley followed close behind. As soon as the elevator doors dinged, I helped Christian out of the elevator and took off his blindfold. Eleanor already had the video camera rolling. Both men had shocked expressions on their faces as they looked at our floor. Sure, it was a little messy from all the activities, but the girls knew they could clean it up quickly later. What were you guys up to? Christian asks with wide eyes. Instead of giving him answer, I shove a paper with his first clue in his hands. Feathers, diamonds, gems and glue fell to the floors. Giggles and shrieks filled the walls. The first of many. Christian read the note multiple times before rolling his eyes. Luckily, he picked up on the clue right away and headed to the bathroom, where Eleanor and I pulled our first prank on him and Bentley. Christian walked out of the bathroom with yet another paper, while Eleanor, Bentley and I stayed behind the camera. He also held a small box, one in which he would later have to open in order to put together the surprise. Movie nights and popcorn throwing, a walk to remember and a weekly meal. Once again, Christian easily picked up the clue and walked into the living room. I had referenced the time we had a movie night, and after much convincing watched a sad romance movie with him. He and I both bawled our eyes out at the end, and I had to swear to never speak of it to anybody. Safe to say, the DVD of the movie was also disposed of. Christian looked in the living room and finally found the next clue hid under the Kleenex boxes. He shot me a knowing glare before reading the next hint and grabbing the second small box. After hard times, new reconstructions, an office for a mate, a new responsibility and role, the beginning of a new adventure. Leah, I swear if this is leading me to a prank, it'll make you pay, Christian warns as he walks down the halls to the next room. He enters my office and finds the next clue. Inside a balloon. He grows out his claws and pops the balloon instantly. revealing the next clue and yet another small box. From scones to homemade pizza. Food fights galore. Yummy foods. Always wanting more. Christian then heads to the kitchen, immediately spotting the plate of scones on the counter. He flashes me a grateful smile, and takes the box and the next clue from the counter. Christian also quickly shoves a scone in his mouth. Our safe place and paradise. Broken glass and lamps as weapons. An area of resting and nothing but love. Christian once again sets off and heads to our bedroom. Finally, getting to his last clue. The last small box sits on our bed and finally Christian can open them all. My hands are already starting to become clammy, and my heart beat wild. He begins unpackaging them all, starting with the first one he found, of course. All are puzzle pieces that he has to put together, each box containing a set of 3. He spends a few minutes putting it together, and finally when it's complete, he seems even more confused than ever. All this for me to make a puzzle of a wolf pup. Seriously, I'm tired. Can you put the camera away, he sighs. I can't help but laugh a little internally from his cluelessness. Chuckling slightly, I take the final box out of my back pocket and hand it to Christian. He eyes it questionably before opening it, finally revealing the pregnancy test. Christian stands there for a few moments, his eyes shifting between the test and the puzzle. He then turns towards me, with the biggest smile I've ever seen him with. To our agent extraordinaire, Madeleine Noble, heartfelt thanks for your unfailing patience, enthusiasm. We're going to be parents? He asks excitedly. I nod eagerly, allowing straight ears to fall from my cheeks. He runs towards me, picking me up, spinning. I'm going to be a dad. He pulls me into a passionate kiss, and finally, I notice some tears falling freely down his cheeks too. I gently wipe them away off his cheeks before turning towards the camera. Baby, you are already so loved, I say excitedly. I love you. Son. Christian turns towards the camera as well. I'd forgotten that the firstborn of an alpha was automatically a son. My eyes watered up once more as I learned his gender. Eleanor and Bentley quietly excused themselves quietly as Christian and I continued celebrating. Guess I forgot to tell him we'd be moving up the wedding too. I need to be married while I can still fit into my dress.